Welcome everybody, Major League Baseball. It's off and running. We got the Chicago White Sox taking on the Oakland A's, and the White Sox are sending to the mound Chris Sale, and the Oakland A's are taking Sonny Gray to get it done tonight. I'm talking today with Drew Martin from Atlanta. Drew, how's it going, and who do you like tonight that has the edge?
Yeah, Mike, thanks for having me on. Excited to be here with SBR. Actually, tonight's matchup in the Coliseum, it actually pairs the number 3 and number 4 finalists in last year's AL Cy Young Award voting. So it should be a hell of a pitching matchup. The White Sox actually had a hell of an offseason. They had one of the worst offenses in all of baseball last year. Only the Braves and the Marlins scored fewer runs, and of course, they don't have the benefit of the DH. So the White Sox having the worst AL offense last year, bring in Todd Frazier, who my numbers show should really help the middle of that lineup in between Jose Abreu and Melky Cabrera. I think that that's a hell of a compliment for the middle of that lineup. Wouldn't you agree, Mike?
Well, I would, and also you got the veteran Austin Jackson in center field, and you got Alex Avila catching. So, there is the veteran leadership that's necessary, because last year, both of these pitchers actually, it hurt their records as far as, what they were getting no offensive production, so they had no help. This year, obviously, Chisox stepped up to the plate. I think the acquisition of the third baseman, Todd Frazier, was a very good pickup. Now, the A's, on the other hand, with Billy Beanball, you never know what direction it's going to go. However, I don't think they can do any worse than they did last year, and I know that they know that. Now, with that being said, what are your thoughts on the injury reports? Do you have any updates on maybe some early injuries already for either of these ball clubs?
Well, there is a couple minor injuries, but even more importantly for this single game matchup tonight, the 6'6" lefty Chris Sale coming from the left side. The new first baseman for the Oakland A's, Yonder Alonso, he's likely projected not to start. So that could be a hit for this Oakland A's offense. Now, granted, he could come in off the bench in the later innings against the righty from the bullpen if the A's are able to get to Chris Sale. But more importantly, from the starting pitcher matchup, Sale, he actually posted a 1.76 ERA in his first 4 appearances in the Coliseum. So he tends to like pitching there in Oakland. And actually, his last matchup against Oakland, he handled the A's pretty well. He only gave up 2 singles through 8 innings of work with 9 Ks. So it's a hell of an outing there for Chris Sale in his last matchup against Oakland. On the other hand, Sonny Gray, he actually had his worst start of the season last year, and it was against the White Sox. It was a mid-September game. He gave up 7 runs over 3 innings. He took the loss. And actually, Jose Abreu and Melky Cabrera really knocked him around in that game. They both posted over a 2.3 OPS. So he's had some trouble going through this White Sox lineup. And with the White Sox adding Todd Frazier, I don't think that's going to help him out at all tonight.
Yeah, and that's got to be in the back of his mind, because this pitcher is 7-1, all right, when he pitches in April for his career. He's got a 2.02 ERA. He's very, very effective. And yes, you nailed it. Last year, that was his worst outing. That was 3 innings that he gave up those 7 runs. And after that, he kind of put things back together. But sometimes mentally, when that happens against a team, the pitcher either really responds in a positive way, or that stays kind of a cancer for him. So we'll see what happens. And again, he's a good young pitcher, and he's got a lot going for him. Now, Chris Sale, again, 13-11 on the year last year, but he had nowhere near the offensive help that he should have had. So I'm anxious to see him absolutely bounce back right where he was, with confidence with this new built roster. What was the best shop line that you found on this game, Drew?
I think Bet365 is actually posting it at -115. So it's a real moderate price to catch Chris Sale. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to find him a lot this season. So in my opinion, it's a great time to hop on. You can find him moderate price, -115 at Bet365.
Yeah, I think the veteran leadership there ought to kind of set the tone tonight as well. And before we do go, it's also important to know that the A's have added relievers Ryan Madson and John Axford, to strengthen up that bullpen, and it certainly needed that help. Okay, Drew, thanks for being on board with us. Viewers, you heard it. All right, Drew likes the Chisox tonight to get it done with Chris Sale on the mound. You can get it at -115 on the money line right now at Bet365. All right, good luck tonight, Drew. Beat the bookie, and I look forward to talking to you again real soon, my friend.
I appreciate it, Mike. Talk to you soon.